Welcome to this tutorial on creating a Labyrinth game in Java. Today, we're going to build a simple text-based Labyrinth game, where players navigate a maze to find the exit. This tutorial will cover everything from setting up the project to implementing the game logic and user interface. First, let's set up our Java project. If you're using an IDE like IntelliJ IDEA or Eclipse, create a new Java project named Labyrinth Game. Once you have the project set up, create a new Java class called main. Now, let's create a basic structure for our game. We'll start by adding a few instance variables to our main class that will hold the labyrinth, the player's position, and the exit position. Next, let's implement the method that initializes the labyrinth. We'll represent the labyrinth as a simple grid of characters. In this example, we'll use #4walls and 4pathways. Now that we have a basic labyrinth structure, let's write a method to set the player's starting position and the exit position. In this case, we'll start the player at 1, 1 and place the exit at 3, 4. Now that we've created our labyrinth and set the positions, it's time to implement the logic for moving the player around the labyrinth. Let's create a method that allows the player to move up, down, left, or right based on their input. In the movePlayer method, we're checking if the new position is valid before allowing the player to move. Let's implement the isMoveValid method to determine if the move is within bounds and not hitting a wall. With our movement logic in place, let's create a method that will print the current state of the labyrinth and the player's position. This will help us visualize the game. Now it's time to implement the main game loop. We need to continuously prompt the player for input, update the state of the game, and print the labyrinth until the player reaches the exit or decides to quit. Finally, let's add a main method to start our game. This method will create an instance of the main class and call the startGame method. Now that we've completed the basic implementation of our Labyrinth game, let's run it and see how it works. You're going to see the labyrinth printed on the console, and you can use the keys W, A, S, D to navigate through the maze. If you reach the exit, you'll receive a congratulatory message. As you navigate the labyrinth, you can experiment with the structure of the labyrinth by modifying the initialize labyrinth method. For instance, you can add more walls or create a more complex maze by changing the array values. If you want to extend the functionality further, here are a few ideas. You could implement a scoring system based on how quickly the player finds the exit, or add multiple levels with different labyrinth layouts. Would you like to see more advanced features in future tutorials? Let me know. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap what we've done. We initialized a labyrinth as a 2D array, implemented movement logic, and allowed the player to navigate through the maze. Each time the player moves, the labyrinth updates and displays their current position. Thank you for following along in this tutorial on creating a Labyrinth game in Java. I hope you learned a lot and had fun coding with me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future tutorials. Happy coding!